Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Today I want to share my story of what happened when I ghosted my cheating wife. Back in 2014, I met the love of my life. She was smart, beautiful, and we shared an incredible connection right from the start. We laughed together, we shared our dreams, and we seemed to complete each other in every way. In 2015, we decided to tie the knot. Our wedding was a dream come true, and it felt like the beginning of an amazing journey together. We had big plans for our future, including starting a family. However, as the years went by, the strains of everyday life started to take their toll on our relationship. I had a demanding job that required a lot of travel, and she was working long hours at her job too. We both knew that our careers were important, but we also realized that we needed to find a balance between work and our marriage. In the beginning, it was easy to brush off the little things that bothered us. But as time passed, the cracks began to show. We argued more frequently, and the late nights at the office became a regular occurrence for her. Our once thriving sex life started to dwindle, and I couldn't help but feel like something was amiss. The signs of trouble were there, but I chose to ignore them, thinking that we could work through anything together. Little did I know how wrong I was. It all came crashing down in 2018 when I stumbled upon evidence of her affair. I was searching for something in her car one day when I found an empty condom wrapper. Panic washed over me and my heart sank. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was like a nightmare come to life. I knew I needed answers, so I started to dig deeper. I began to track her movements and soon found out she was meeting with a man after work when she told me she had to stay late. It was a total lie. I followed her car to a seedy motel on the outskirts of town and parked at a safe distance and watched her walk into that place with her affair partner. I didn't recognize the guy, but my guess is that he was a co-worker. It was like a dagger through my heart, but I needed to see it with my own eyes. After that painful revelation, I made a difficult decision. I decided to leave our marriage behind and start anew. The next day, I kissed my wife goodbye as I went to work. I drove my car up the street and waited until she left for work herself. I went back to the house, collected my belongings, and moved everything into a trailer on a friend's property. My wife didn't know about my friend's property, and I told him if she asks around, he hasn't seen me. I blocked her number and deleted all my social media profiles so there was no way she could contact me. I quit my job and started working as a farmhand on a neighboring property. The next few months I spent working on myself and getting over my wife's betrayal and kind of just living like a hermit. Eventually, I started integrating back into society and reconnecting with old friends. I even started hanging out in town more often to feel more connected with people. I hadn't heard from my wife in a whole year until one day in town. I was at a coffee shop, and who do you think walked past and saw me? My damn wife. I tried to get up to leave, but she begged me to stay and talk to her. She threatened to make a scene if I walked away. I sat back down again and waited for her to speak. The atmosphere between us was tense. She looked into my eyes, tears streaming down her face, said she knows why I left and confessed to her affair. I was like, no shit. She begged for forgiveness and asked for me to come back and for us to get back together. I could see the pain in her eyes, and a part of me was glad she was hurting so much. But truthfully, it hurt me to see her like that too. She said after I disappeared, she realized how much she screwed up and how much she missed me in her life. After the day she came back to an empty home, she ended her affair. She hasn't been with anyone since that day and has been so depressed she's had to go on medication. I told her that I appreciated her honesty, but my decision to move on remained unchanged. I had changed to a new phone and a new number, and my wife asked if she could at least have my contact details in case we decided to go through with officially getting a divorce. Seemed reasonable to me, so I gave her my number. A few weeks later, she texted me and told me she had accepted a job offer in another state and wanted me to come with her. She said she had realized the depth of her mistake and that she was willing to do anything to make things right. Again, I told her that I appreciated the offer, but I had made peace with our separation. I had discovered my own path and was committed to moving forward without her. Instead, I told her to give me her new address so we could get the divorce finalized, and the paperwork would be sent to the correct place. She called right after that message in tears and begged and pleaded for me not to do it and to give her another chance. I said no way and hung up. I'm now going through the process of officially divorcing my cheating wife. I live in a trailer with barely any assets. I don't have much in the way of savings either, so there's really nothing my wife can take from me in the divorce. It wasn't an easy decision, and it still hurts to think about what we once had. I'm not trying to seek sympathy or validation or anything like that. Just wanted to share what I went through. Life can be unpredictable, and sometimes it's important to have the courage to take your own journey, even when it means leaving behind the familiar and embracing the unknown. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my story. I hope that my experience can offer some insight to anyone going through the same thing.